Sarah Jane Adventures, The Last Sontaran, the first story of Series 2, is written by Phil Ford and it's starring Elizabeth Sladen, Yasmin Page, Tommy Knight, Daniel Anthony and Alexander Armstrong. So in Doctor Who magazine, Phil Ford said, "We haven't seen a Sontaran like that before, this story, and the character was just fantastic to write for. We have Commander Kag, a Sontaran who survived after the ship exploded by Luke Ratigan, and he used an escape pod. Phil said that Kag is the best Sontaran we have in the Whoniverse, and he loved Anthony O'Donnell's betrayal." So the story begins with a scientist called Professor Nicholas Skinner, played by Ronan Weber, an astronomer at the Tycho Project's radio telescope in the rural English village of Goblin's Corpse, and he has a daughter called Lucy Skinner, played by Claire Thomas. And I think they're great. So those two discover strange lights in the sky, so Professor Skinner investigates but goes missing and Lucy screams. Next day we get Clyde and Luke playing a game on Mr. Smith, which is cool. But of course Sarah Jane kicks them off to have a look at extraterrestrial sightings, while Maria and her dad willing to move to America for his new job. And Chrissy's hair in this one is a mess. She looks like she's had a hangover. So Sarah Jane, Luke, Clyde and Maria drove to Radio Telescope, and Lucy ran to them and fainted as her dad is missing. So Clyde and Luke went outside to look. I always like the chemistry between Luke and Clyde. We can tell that they are best friends. So they see something invisible and they also get chased by a Sontaran, which is intense. So Lucy's father came back, who seemed emotionless, and asked Sarah Jane and Maria to leave, and they knew there was something not right about Professor Skinner. He seemed scary the way he went towards Lucy. So Sarah Jane and Maria found Luke and Clyde. She uses her sonic lipstick to reveal what the invisible round shape it is. It was the Sontaran space pod, which definitely scared Sarah Jane because she's met one twice before. First time in the Time Warrior, and second in the Sontaran experiment. I think it's well written. So while Sarah Jane tries to get the whole gang into the car, Commander Kag appeared.
They only ever have one thing on their minds: conquest.
Sontaran! Ha!
I love the bit where Clyde makes fun of him, it's pretty funny. Sontarans are the great monsters to make fun of, so they make a run for it. Sarah Jane and Clyde went back to the lab and realised that Professor is mind controlled, so Kag appeared while Maria and Luke are in the shaft. Kag starts to realise that Sarah Jane has met Sontarans before a long time ago, and we see a scar on Kag's face and hand.
I should take you back to Sontaran to pay for his crimes, for what he has done to me.
The Doctor did that to you.
Because in the events of Doctor Who The Poison Sky, where Luke Ratigan blew the whole mothership up and destroyed Sontarans, leaving Kag the only survivor.
Sontaran! Ha! One.
He blames the Doctor for it, and because of Kag wants revenge, he gets Professor to hack into satellites and steer them to crash into nuclear reactors on Earth, triggering nuclear annihilation. He also plans to experiment on Clyde, but Sarah Jane stepped in and Kag shot her unconscious. After he grabs Clyde by his jaw, Maria helps him escape. I love the running scene through the corridor. It's fun to watch and it's pretty intense. Sarah Jane is locked up with Lucy, and sadly Kag has took her sonic lipstick. Meanwhile, Maria phones Alan to help them to talk to Mr. Smith. So Alan goes into Sarah Jane's house, but of course Chrissy follows, and she went through the window and sees Mr. Smith in the attic. And yeah, that's where Chrissy finds out what Sarah Jane and her gang, including Maria, does. Maria tells Luke that she's going to America, and Luke understandably felt really upset about it. The bit where crackled me up was when Clyde threw a stick at Kag and outrun him. I thought that was pretty hilarious. So Clyde ran to Sarah Jane and back to the lab after they locked Professor in. So Lucy tries to break the code, but she couldn't, so Luke tried, while the Professor and Kag is taking Clyde and Maria hostage. So Maria tries to reason Kag that he's destroying innocent lives. So in the end, Chrissy hits Kag's probic vent with her high heels, which is awesome.
Nothing will stop us!
Try my 5-5, okay?
And as a result, she had electric shock and fell to sleep. Luke managed to stop the downloading, and yeah, Professor and Lucy are back to themselves. Sarah Jane gets Kag to fly away and never come back. It's so sad to see Maria leaving. The reason why she left because Yasmin Page is busy focusing on GCSEs, which is understandable. So everyone says goodbye to Maria.
Bye. Safe landing.
Oh, thank you. Take care.
Even Chrissy didn't think it was a dream. She knew that she stopped a Sontaran, but she promised to keep the whole thing a secret. So, that's the last time we see Chrissy. I'm gonna miss her domestic lines. So, that's the last Sontaran, my top 3 favourite Sontaran stories. What did you guys think? Drop your thoughts on the comments down below, if you wish. As always, thanks for watching, and see you all in the next video.
Bye.